Live, this is 24-Hour News 8.
If you make a mistake, you're supposed to pay for it.
Our Target 8 investigators exposed numerous deaths caused by nursing homes. Now at 6, we're exposing the penalties handed down, penalties that families and even the state say aren't enough.
A baby found dead, partially buried. Tonight, the mother is in jail, and we're finding out when the baby was born. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Susan Shaw.
And I'm Brian Sterling. First at 6 o'clock, let's get to the developing weather situation out there. It is chilly and wet tonight, and flurries are on the way.
Storm Team 8 is here to walk you through what's coming, and Kyle Underwood is taking a look at the cool and snowy weather coming over the next few days. But first, Chief Meteorologist Bill Steffen is here with what's happening right now. Bill?
Well, we got some drizzle and light rain out there at the current time. Roads are just wet, and that's how they'll stay here this evening. Maybe an icy spot here as we head toward daybreak, but for the evening, we're still okay. Let's take a look at Storm Track Live. There's a lot of light rain and drizzle out there. Some of it that the radar's not picking up. I'm assuming it's raining or drizzling a little bit here and up north as well. And you can start to see a little bit of blue here. That means there's some snowflakes mixing in up there, up toward Oceana and Newaygo County. All of this will change over to some snow flurry activity. Not anticipating any significant accumulations overnight tonight. Grassy areas may turn a little white as temperatures get down a little bit below freezing. And temperatures are dropping. Look at that, we're down to 41. That's down 15 degrees this afternoon. It's in the upper 30s at Muskegon, already down to 34 at the airport in Ludington. The cold Arctic air is coming. But like I said, I think we'll be seeing just wet roads here this evening. A live picture downtown, traffic moving along on 131. Temperatures start out mid-30s, will fall to the low 30s here by around midnight, and into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. Kyle's here now to tell you more about the snow and how much we expect.
Yeah, Bill, we were in the 50s and 60s earlier today. Temperatures for the rest of this week stuck in the gutter, and this is just Arctic blast number 1. Even colder weather with highs only in the 20s coming up next week. This cold moving across Lake Michigan leads to lake effect snow, and that starts late tonight and tomorrow. But tomorrow's snow isn't going to be a much. In fact, most people not even going to have to get out the shovels. We will not see the plows in most areas. We're just talking flurries for a good chunk of lower Michigan, near the lakeshore, mainly west of US 131. Through the day tomorrow, we could pick up as much as an inch, but most places will see less than that. Thursday, 2 days from now, this is when we have the better chance of seeing accumulating snow enough to get out the shovels, and we'll see some plows out clearing the roadways. Less than an inch for far inland parts of West Michigan, including St. John's, Lansing, and Jackson. But once we hit into Battle Creek, Grand Rapids, Jenison, northward toward Big Rapids, a couple of inches of snow looks possible. Westward, lakeshore counties as far inland as about Kalamazoo, 2 to 4, with some places picking up 5 inches on Thursday. More snow on the way as we head into the weekend, and colder weather yet. Bill will show you those numbers in a few minutes.
Make sure and stay with Storm Team 8. We will have updates as we begin to see some flurries tonight at 10 and 11. Tomorrow morning on Daybreak, we'll be live to update you on conditions before you head out the door.
A Target 8 investigation has uncovered that nursing home mistakes caused or contributed to the deaths of 112 people over the last 3 years in our state. But what happens to homes that make those deadly mistakes?
Well, new tonight, 6 o'clock, Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker found that the penalties don't come close to satisfying families of those who died, and even the state is frustrated. Ken?
Yeah, Brian and Sue, we found a wide range in fines ranging from $140,000 to just a few thousand. 85-year-old Dolly McGrew, a widowed nurse technician living at Heartland Healthcare Center of Kalamazoo, was known as Grammy. She had 11 kids, 29 grandchildren, 51 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. She was headed to an oral surgeon in Ann Arbor, 100 miles away. A nursing home maintenance man strapped the electric wheelchair to the bus floor, but did not buckle McGrew into the chair. Those straps built into the bus's wall, he said he didn't know how to use them. He had never driven a patient before. Nobody had trained him. Not far from their destination, he slammed into a curb and blew a tire. The impact threw Dolly McGrew to the floor and killed her.
That wasn't the way for her to go.
Okay.
No.
After investigation into the July 2011 death, the state found Heartland's practices put residents in immediate jeopardy. The fine, $12,100. On the other side of the state, Metalodge of Howell killed 91-year-old Eileen Rocky when it gave her morphine meant for another patient for 4 straight days. That mistake cost the home $16,000.
$16,000 fines, $20,000 fines, even $65,000 fines are nickel and diming nursing homes. It's not going to change their behavior.
A Target analysis of state inspection reports and federal records found that in deaths that led to fines, the average was a little more than $21,000. Michigan ranks second in the nation when it comes to how many nursing homes it penalizes, not just in death cases, but its fines are thousands of dollars below the national average. That's according to an analysis by ProPublica.
If you make a mistake, you're supposed to pay for it. And I don't think my auntie should have passed just on and nobody do nothing about it. There should be something done.
Something beyond the state's $12,000 fine. McGrew's children thought so too. They sued the home and got $900,000. Heartland Nursing Home Administrator Betty Morris refused to talk about the death.
Well, I'm a reporter from Wood TV.
Right.
We're doing a story on nursing homes.
Okay.
And nursing homes make mistakes that kill people. And
Well, that's true.
The home spokeswoman later called it an isolated incident that has been addressed. The association that represents most Michigan nursing homes says it works closely with them to improve safety.
It's human beings caring for other human beings, and errors occur. And you know, what is the once the incident has occurred, as tragic as it is, the important thing then is to find out what happened and to fix it.
It's the states that investigate nursing homes for the feds and recommend these fines, which must be approved by the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
Sometimes they'll bump it up, sometimes they knock it down.
The state also requires homes to take steps to make sure mistakes don't happen again. But even the state says it wants bigger fines in cases like the morphine overdose or the death of Dolly McGrew.
shouldn't there be a bigger hammer for that?
I think you have to talk to the federal government. I mean, I can wish everything I want,
But would you, as the state, like a bigger hammer?
me as a state, I probably would.
Now, our investigation continues tonight. What will it take to prevent deadly mistakes? More staff, better training, bigger fines? Those answers tonight at 11. I'm Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker.
Ken, thank you. A teen mom arrested. Police believe that Jessica Lynn Brewster is the mother of a baby found dead, left to die next to a building in Muskegon. 24 Hour News 8's Steve Kelso is working this horrifying story. Steve?
Brian, right now, a 17-year-old high school senior is in jail behind me here in Muskegon County. Her baby, who police believe was born sometime in October, is dead, and there is a law on the books the police believe could have prevented it all. A gruesome discovery Monday afternoon when a maintenance worker found the body behind Trinity Manor in Muskegon. Now, 17-year-old Jessica Brewster, a Muskegon high school senior, sits behind bars, charged with a homicide of her own child. While police continue to look for answers, they say this should never happen.
This person was either afraid to have this baby or was an unwanted baby. We're not sure, but any situation like that, the fire station, the hospitals, the police department, an infant or a child can be dropped off.
Michigan's safe haven law allows any child up to 3 days old to be left by its parents with authorities, no questions asked. The nearest fire station to where the baby was found is roughly a quarter mile away.
It's horrific that this is criminal, but obviously this is going to be the outcome.
Meanwhile, police are working to learn how and when this baby died and how long it may have been alone, partially covered by the cold, hard ground, so close to safety. Prosecutor DJ Hilson tells me today that his office will begin reviewing Monday what charges 17-year-old Jessica Brewster may face. Live in Muskegon tonight, Steve Kelso, 24 Hour News 8.
Our cameras were there today as high-profile attorney Gloria Allred announced that she is suing Grand Rapids schools after a teacher had sex with students. Right after this break, we'll focus on Title IX, what it is, and how it plays a role in this case.
Well, our drizzle and light rain is going to change over to snow flurries later this evening, and that will continue into the day tomorrow. Here's what we expect for tomorrow afternoon. Mostly cloudy, breezy, cold, occasional snow showers and snow flurries. Temperatures will be only in the low to mid 30s. Coming up, I'll show you when we could see some icy driving.
Taking problems and finding you solutions. That's what Target 8 is all about.
The Grand Rapids Public School District is getting sued. A lawsuit was filed this morning in federal court on behalf of 5 victims who claim they were sexually abused by their teacher and the district did nothing.
Jamila Williams taught at Grand Rapids Prep Academy. She admitted to having sex with her students and is in prison. Now celebrity attorney Gloria Allred is helping the families go after the school, claiming that they violated federal Title IX law.
New at 6, 24-hour News 8's Heather Walker is breaking down what the Title IX law means in this case. Heather?
Yeah, Brian, Title IX is something we hear about often, especially in these cases of teachers having sex with students, but we don't usually define it.
Title IX has been around since the 70s. It basically says no one can be cut out of any educational program based on their gender. We hear a lot about Title IX when it comes to sports teams, but it can be applied in other instances, like when students' education are impacted because of a sexual assault situation. That's what's happening in this case.
We do think that they were discriminated against on account of their gender.
Attorney Gloria Allred is representing the victims and their families in this case. She's claiming the boys' grades suffered from their sexual relationship with Williams and that the school leaders failed to help the students make up the shortfalls.
There is no way that a student can enjoy equal educational opportunity if they are victimized by sexual harassment, sexual abuse.
Some people say that the boys should be fine because they're boys. But boys who are victims of child sexual abuse, they get hurt too, and they are affected negatively.
2 of the victims' mothers spoke today. They said the school didn't do so much as apologize for what happened.
My son was harmed both physically and emotionally by what was done to him.
We did reach out to Grand Rapids Public Schools for an interview today. They told us they cannot comment because the case is ongoing. Live in studio control, Heather Walker, 24-hour News 8.
All right, Heather, thank you. There is some rain out there right now and snow is on the way.
Coming up next, Bill will show us the chilly 8-day forecast, including what's ahead for the weekend. Stay with us.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Well, if you're headed out, maybe to the Veterans Parade downtown Grand Rapids, 7 o'clock, you're going to find a little bit of light rain. This is a look from our Calvin College sky cam. That's the East Belt line. Southbound pretty well clogged up, moving real slow. Northbound moving along a little bit better, but we will continue to see these periods of light rain, and that will change over to some wet snow or snow flurries here a little bit later on tonight. You can see the light rain across the area, and a little bit of blue showing up there toward Newaygo County shows that there are some snow flurries already starting to mix in. This again will go over to all light snow and flurries. We don't anticipate much in the way of accumulation, just maybe a dusting on a few grassy areas. Roads should just be wet this evening as temperatures hold up around 32 or 33 by 11 o'clock tonight. These current temperatures, our high today was 56. We are down to 39. That means we've already dropped 17 degrees. The cold air continues to pour in. Look what's off to the west of us. We're 39, Minneapolis 23, Pierce, South Dakota at 14. We're going to see a west wind the next several days. So all that cold air sitting out here over the northern plains is coming right for West Michigan. That means some very unseasonably cold weather will continue here, not only for tomorrow, but it looks like for at least 8 or 9 days. Winds are a factor too, 16 miles an hour in Grand Rapids, 20 miles an hour Battle Creek. Wind chills already down below freezing. These wind chills will be down around 18 to 20 tomorrow morning, so a pretty cold day for the kids heading out there to the school bus. We do anticipate again the drizzle will change over to some flurries that could create a few isolated slick spots tonight and tomorrow. Nothing widespread, should be able to get through okay. We're looking at a much slipperier rush hour on Thursday morning, so many people not used to driving on that. Watch out for Thursday morning, allow some extra time as you head off to work and school. And this pattern will continue. More snow moves in with some slick roads here for Sunday and on Monday. accumulating snow is certainly likely. Here's what we expect. Flurries everywhere by around 11 o'clock, but not many of them. As you can see, we run till early tomorrow morning. Some breaks in the clouds southeast of Battle Creek. Just a few flurries showing up. But as we head toward tomorrow night, these clouds thicken up just a little bit, and then we start to develop a little bit more in the way of light snow, and this will continue for much of tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. Snowfall tomorrow, less than an inch west of Grand Rapids, just occasional flurries east of Grand Rapids. Not much of a problem traveling, but as we head toward Thursday, for Wednesday night Thursday, 2 to 4 inches, lakeshore areas, a little bit less as you move inland, but certainly some slick roads out there. 8-day forecast, the average high temperature for today is 50, and look at the temperatures we're going to see those next 8 days. Anywhere from the mid-20s to mid-30s, much colder than average. Best bet for seeing slippery roads will be Thursday morning, and then again early Sunday morning into Monday. And that batch of cold air coming early next week is even colder than the stuff coming in here tomorrow. Oh. So the trend continues.
Yeah, we're going to have a slow learning curve driving again here.
Yeah, especially Thursday morning. That's when things get slick.
Okay. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. A Michigan native released from the hospital after being diagnosed with Ebola. What he says was the key to his recovery. Coming up next. Students and staff at a Battle Creek school are mourning the loss of their principal tonight. 61-year-old Tim May passed away unexpectedly last night. He's been the principal at St. Philip Catholic Central High School for the past year and a half. And before that, he worked in the Battle Creek Public School District.
The Michigan native who was diagnosed with Ebola is now out of the hospital. Dr. Craig Spencer contracted the virus while working in West Africa, but he didn't get sick until he returned home to New York City. He's originally from Metro Detroit. Before Spencer left the hospital today, he talked about what was key to his survival.
I am a living example of how those protocols work and of how early detection is critical to both surviving Ebola and ensuring that it is not transmitted to others.
And now that Spencer is out of the hospital, there are no known Ebola cases in the United States.
Today, our nation honors and remembers those who have fought for our freedom. And tonight, we're learning of more help coming for veterans. United Way of West Michigan says its 211 hotline is expanding to make it easier now for veterans to be connected to services and benefits available to them.
So you can think about our 211 call operators as your friendly navigator, your friendly coach that can help you figure out where do I turn if I need some help with some basic needs, if I need some assistance that's benefit related.
If you are calling from a landline in Kent County, all you have to do is dial 211. You can also call 1-800-887-1107.
Hope College is getting ready for the basketball season with a new head coach.
Coming up next in sports, how new coach Greg Mitchell says his team is doing. Stay with us.
Well, it has been one of the most stable jobs in sports. Head basketball coach at Hope College. Russ DeVette led the Flying Dutchman for 24 years. Glenn Van Weeren followed and held the job for 33 seasons. But after last season, Matt Neal and Hope College parted ways after a 5-year stint. And now the team is in the hands of another Hope alum, Greg Mitchell. Tonight, he'll coach his first game when the Flying Dutchman take on Grand Valley in an exhibition game at DeVos Fieldhouse. Mitchell inherits a talented team made up mostly of players his predecessor recruited.
Coaching changes are challenging, and I respect that. I think my biggest goal initially was to build relationships and build a sense of trust, and then try to utilize their strengths. And we're trying to play a version, a style that's conducive to their ability and their comfort zone. So I think that has helped, but I think the biggest thing is relationships. And as we build those, that'll just, I think, continue to get stronger and stronger.
We'll have highlights of that game for you at 10 and 11. In the NFL, you only have to look at the points allowed stat to understand how the Lions are sitting at 7-2 right now. 142 points allowed as tops in the league. But the Lions wouldn't be sitting in this position without the clutch fourth quarter play of quarterback Matt Stafford either. Statistically, this isn't his best season, but he has thrown late touchdown passes in 2 of the 3 Lions victories, the last 3, leading some to suggest Detroit should go to the no huddle more often. Lions coach Jim Caldwell says don't count on that. but he sure has enjoyed watching his quarterback come through in the clutch.
So it just so happens that that's what gets highlighted. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the only time that he goes to a streak of throwing the ball well, you know what I mean? Because that's not the case. But I do think it does show that when it is time to get some things done, he's not one of those guys who's going to shrink away from a challenge, and he's going to make something happen. And fortunately, it's played out in our favor.
And the 8-1 Arizona Cardinals next for the Lions. Matt Williams, Washington Nationals manager, just been named the National League Manager of the Year.
All right. Thank you, Jack.
You bet.
Thanks, Jack.
Unseasonably cold air for the next 8 days. You can see our rain is going to be changing over to some light snow later on tonight, and we're going to see a lot of that here over the next week or so. Temperatures are going to be averaging about 15 to 18 degrees colder than average during the daytime. A double Arctic blast. It actually gets colder here early next week. Look for temperatures to be around freezing during the daytime, a little bit below freezing at night. Best bet for slippery roads again Thursday morning and again Sunday.
Okay, Bill, thank you. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 10 and 11.
When your school closes, be the first to know. Sign up for closing text alerts at woodtv.com.